Yeah, so today I'm going to introduce my comic and basically how it all started. Right now, my comic's in the vibes and ideas department, so I was thinking maybe an introduction would be the kick in my butt to actually do some work. So I've always wanted to make a comic. I just never had the confidence to go after it. I never had that confidence to, definitively say, I'm going to make a comic until I went to university. So I went to an art uni and the course I did was a condensed version. So basically, I had trimesters instead of semesters. Each trimester was 12 weeks, and in the first year, we had 4 classes with 3 assignments, and in the second year, we had 3 classes with 3 assignments. Yeah, so lucky for me, my uni didn't believe in exams, which meant that, all these assignments that we had to do held more weight. So basically, we just needed competency in all of the classes. You had to pass every single assignment, otherwise you would fail the year. So yeah, it's been intense. But anyway, I did appreciate that. I didn't want to do another exam after all the exams I did in high school. I was just like, no, never again. My last 2 trimesters in my last year were pretty much self-led. I chose visual arts as my major. And in my uni, these last 2 trimesters are all about developing your own work. So we could all choose our own projects. It all started when I was brainstorming what I wanted to do for the finals. Woo! So as a starting off point, I thought about what games I liked, and of course, I chose Minecraft! I knew I wanted to make a research journal, like someone was out there on a different planet exploring the great unknown. I knew that was a general theme of what I wanted to do, so, starting off with Minecraft seemed like a good idea. So Minecraft is really spooky when you play by yourself. There's no humans around that look like you, and there's remnants of a bygone era like ruined portals and desert temples. There's a sense that you're all alone in a world that does not care for you. So with that in mind, I was going to do a post-human survival horror type of journal, or, something chill and fun. Well, I went with a horror journal, but I'm not really into horror that much, so the end product wasn't really that scary, to be honest. I also had an idea to make my own bestiary. I would make my own creature designs and add them to the journal. But, I only had 12 weeks and 2 other classes to juggle, so I didn't have enough time to actually design creatures. Yeah, it's sad, but I do have the time now, so I might remake the journal. Yeah, and that'd be fun with all the creature designs that I actually thought about. Around the time I was making this journal, Minecraft released the Deep Dark biome. This biome has a central piece that's called a portal, and yeah, that was pretty inspiring. I ended up going with the idea that an adventurer goes through a portal to a different planet. I was also reading action webcomics at the time, and most of them have portals with monsters in it, so that was probably inspiring at the time as well. Next, I looked up what different types of forests this potential adventurer could go through. So apparently on Earth, there's 3 different types of forests. There's the taiga, there's temperate forests, and rainforests. I asked my mom which one I should focus on, and she said the taiga. This is a big turning point. This is what inspired the next events and eventually my entire comic. So I started researching what animals live in the taiga. I live in Australia, so I have 0 idea what's happening out there in the northern hemisphere. It was really fun to see what different types of animals you have. Bears, wolves, even frogs. Around this time, I was finalizing my idea because I needed to propose it to my class. The idea I proposed to my class was to make a journal about a researcher who is writing and drawing all the things they come across. And it would be based on a short story. So they would find the portal, research the portal, jump in, look around, write a few pages of notes and have some drawings. Something spooky happens, and then the last few pages are frantic and messed up. My assignment needed to include some artists and theorists to take inspiration from. I decided to take H.P. Lovecraft's works as inspiration. mostly for the horror aspect. Like in his works, eldritch beings are, an impossibly large size, which is like really scary to think about. Yeah, I wanted to make an extremely large bear for this exact same reason. After researching the tiger, I learnt that massive wildfires are needed for the forest to regrow. It's a part of the life cycle. And then I had a big brain moment. Like, what if the bear that I was talking about before was the reason why these wildfires happen in this magical world? And that's how Lily was born, a bear that is perpetually on fire. One of my little cousins gave me the idea that there should be ash falling because, she's on fire all the time, and that makes so much sense. Like, oh my god, big brain moment. So, in the story, the adventurer goes into a cave filled with ash, and that's how he discovers the bear. Anyways, all of this was developed in the second last trimester. So, next up, my final trimester. This trimester, I wanted to continue on with what I was doing before. In this universe, portals open up on Earth, and through them you can visit other planets. They're like wormholes. They pretty much just like skip all the space in between. I mean, of course, it is possible to go to these planets via rocket, but time is a resource and no one wants to waste it. So to expand the story, I decided to make more characters. There needs to be people who are friends with the researcher, right? And these characters need somewhere to work. They're working because, my world is still based on Earth, so capitalism still exists. In the first comic, that journal, I'd mentioned that the researcher was going on their first solo mission, basically because I wanted him to be alone in the story. But looking at it now, it doesn't really make sense for him to be alone, right? Like it would make sense that he has at least one partner, right, to look out for him. And honestly, there's no way a sensible company would let someone go to a different planet all on their own. Well, that's something I'll look into when I start my official comic, and it's not just vibes. So back to the point, in the new law that I made in this last trimester, what he's writing in his journal actually gets transferred back home, which means that the researchers who were keeping an eye on him were alerted that, this guy's in trouble. So this way I could split the comic into two plot lines. The first would be, the friends coming to save him. And the second would be him, surviving the encounter with the bear and, staying to researcher. Right, so now I was thinking, maybe the reason why the bear, Lily, is so big is because she is a deity. I named her after the lily of the valley, which is a symbol of death. I think it ties in pretty well with the whole I'm gonna destroy everything to make space for new life thing she has going on. Yeah, so she's basically a symbol of death and spring, right? And you know how bears hibernate through the winter? I was thinking that maybe she was hibernating through this planet's winter, and by the time the researcher got there, it was around the time she was going to wake up anyway. And this way, it would make sense, why she even woke up in the first place to, go and look at him and play with him. So we also needed to include theorists and artists as inspiration for this assignment as well. I used similar ones to last time, but this time H.P. Lovecraft's philosophies were more important. Okay, so basically there's two important themes you need to know as it affected the way the comic was developed. So anthropocentrism is human-centered. It's the ethical belief that only humans have moral worth or intrinsic value. Everything else only has value if it serves us. In a way, all ethics and morals are anthropocentric because they're served by us and are judged by us. Its opposite is what H.P. Lovecraft explores in his works. So non-anthropocentrism, wow, big word, is a philosophical idea that humans are not the most significant or important entities in the universe. And this theme is integral to cosmicism. Okay, pay attention. Last one. So the second one, cosmicism. Cosmicism is a philosophical idea created by H.P. Lovecraft. Describes the idea that humankind is insignificant compared to the vast and unknowable universe. From a cosmic perspective, humans and all our history are irrelevant and meaningless. I mean, of course, he's not the first one to say this or think this, but he coined the term cosmicism. So ultimately, that is a confronting and sad way to look at the universe, in my opinion. The foundation of my universe is that with a massive bear being a deity on this new planet, H.P. Lovecraft's theme of humanity being small compared to the universe plays a key role in the way it was designed. Yeah, in my story, I don't really want it to be depressing and sad like that. So my story will be about love for new knowledge and going to new horizons to expand our own database. I want humanity to matter. Our effects on the world are real, and we can do great things for others. With great power comes great responsibility, right? In summary, basically the main ideas that matter are 1. Humans are small compared to the rest of the universe, and 2. Humanity can and will affect the world around them, and it matters. Okay, so let's move on to what I actually made during uni. The condensed version of the plot is this. So the researcher survives, yippee! He ends up hanging out with Lily and learning about her role as a deity on this new planet. They learn that this planet isn't as chill as the researcher described because they're in a new part of town. They also meet a new character. So this new character is, unsurprisingly, another deity. They're a mushroom-inspired jester. He also helps, shifting winter to spring, and that's why he's around in the first place. Part of my research led to mycorrhizal remediation. Wow, oh my god, another big word. It's a fungi-based way to fix environments affected by wildfires. Oh my god, what a coincidence. Eventually, their friends find the researcher. They accidentally anger the fire god. And the gang just run away. I mean, to be honest, if a bear on fire is chasing after you, yeah, I think it's time to get away. Yeah, the researcher wanted to stay longer because, became friends with the deity and he wanted to find out more, but his friends are like, excuse me, we came all the way here just to save you. You're coming. Yeah, so I mean, the researcher was a bit salty that he had to go home. But, the deities invited him to come back, so it was still a good ending, right? Well, that's how it all started. If you want to see, the finals, nice, clean, quality PNGs, I'll have them up on my website. Wow! Website plug! Yippee! First time! I'll link it down below so you can have a look. It's under the comics tab. And here are some paintings that I made during university. I didn't have much time to make the world interesting, so it's mostly spruce trees. Yeah, I kind of had to go with the first ideas I had because I didn't have much time. I had 3 classes to juggle all together. I'm I wish I had more time. But now I have all the time in the world, so I can remake that journal and it will be so awesome. So I'm going to start a series about my comic and basically all the ideas that I come up with and possible concepts. I want to show you how it's being developed because I don't want to keep it all to myself, what if someone else gets inspired to make their own comic? Wow, what a win. I mean, I probably won't use everything that I come up with because, you gotta stick to that vision. But it'll be so fun to film all those videos. Thanks for watching. I hope the best for you and I'll see you in another video.